Now, if we order some now, can we order more?
You can order more. Yeah.
Now, how are you doing that? Because they were 4 a sheet, right?
They're 4 on a sheet, but we'll cut them up. Doesn't matter. We'll cut them up. Okay. I want to talk about all those people who tell you they're too old, they're too young, they're too tired, they're too busy, they're too depressed, they're too anxious, they're too this, they're too that, in order to be a part of anything. And that's their way of saying N-O. So let's talk about all those people. If, you know, I know yourselves that sometimes you're just too tired. But you keep moving, and you keep moving and trying to make that growth. Nathan Ricks, I've talked about him before. And he's a pretty exciting guy. And he's only worth 40 million today in MLM. And what he said they did a quick little 2-minute interview. And in 2 minutes he said, if there was anything I could tell you, the basics are be consistent and focused. You know, Mark Peterson has, he tells me that every time. He says, just be consistent, stay focused, you're gonna make it. And so you have to do this every day, and I know that we all get distractions. You know, recently I have had huge distractions, but we cannot just recruit once in a while. If you want to be hugely successful, and you all have a number in your mind what hugely successful is. So could you write down that number right now? What's yours, Patrick? You didn't write it down.
I know mine.
What is it?
10,000.
10,000 a month. Okay. Okay. I think that's a little. Yeah, but that's what you think, and we have to go with that blueprint. So we're gonna have to change blueprints, I can see already. Okay, and Patrick, what was yours?
Well, did you mean bringing people in distributors or money, dollar value?
Dollar value? You can give me both.
Well, see, personally, I mean, I always go off in dissertations. Understanding how the business works, it's exponential.
Yes.
So if you do the mechanics and you keep steady with that, it's going to grow exponentially. So it's, to me, I try not to think of numbers. I mean, I know it's good to have a goal, but I know that if I do what I need to do, it's
Okay.
going to exponentially grow.
All right, but to you, what's a huge amount of money?
A huge amount of money?
Yeah, what do you think that big money is?
More than you're getting now.
Well, it's...
I will say more than you're getting now.
That 10,000 a month would be nice, but that'd be starters, you know?
That's right, that's starters, that's small potatoes.
Because like I said, it's the potential, that's the thing that's so nice about this type of business. It's open-ended.
That's right, that's exciting.
So,
We're just skyrocketing, shooting stars. Okay, Chrissy, what was your number?
50,000 a month.
15,000 a month, great.
50.
Oh, 50,000.
50.
good number.
Because more and
I
more
like
people
that.
that I'm talking to they're coming on as customers, and I want to convert.
Right, right. And for you, Tammy?
I wrote down 10,000 distributors.
All right, okay. How many did you put down,
What that
Patrick?
would be, I don't know.
Well, actually, when I wrote down, I just put infinity because it's
Oh,
exponential.
he's really thinking. Okay, all right, all right. And for you?
I wrote down 20,000 a month.
20,000 a month. John?
50,000 a month.
50,000?
I was thinking 2 million a year would be good.
2 million a year.
Way to go.
Okay,
That'd be good.
Is
okay.
that-
I'm looking for
Or
5.
like a 5 million a year?
I'm looking for 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's
my number. That's my number,
that's
5.
Like more short-term goal.
Yes, yes. So in order to do this, you have to be consistent. So you guys are all thinking big. And I wanted to make sure you were thinking big before I went on and, because you can't get a recruit once in a while. A recruit once in a while is not going to hold you over. It's not going to get you excited enough to keep moving. So we need to learn how to make it happen. And so, you know, we keep talking about the 90-day plan, and that, I think, Patrick, you're going to talk more about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So your message, it's so important that, remember we talked about having a plan? You have to have a message. You need to know what your message is, and can anybody tell me, and I don't mean you have to repeat it to me, but can you tell me that you have your message and your plan all written out? Then you can't be successful in your 90-day plan. And you won't be successful. You may get 1 or 2 extra, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about bringing in the numbers, the huge numbers. So, you know, I can remember the very first 90-day plan that For Life Research brought to the attention of the distributors. And that was, I can remember we were hoping for maybe 24. That's what we were looking for, and our first month we had like 300, thanks to Angela. And but she wasn't on a 90-day plan. She, you know, it just
I know
happened.
about it.
It was her plan.
We talked to her about the 90-day plan, she says, what's that?
Right, right. So,
Already done one.
you know, it just kind of happened. It kind of happened. But the next largest amount of growth was 24. And that gentleman became Gold International Diamond and walked across the stage this past March. Now, with 24, he became Gold. 24 new recruits.
That seems so small.
So small.
24 in 90 days, is what you're saying?
That's all he got, and they thought that was huge. 24. We took it by storm, let's face it. Angela was just a buster of all figures. But the next one, I remember them saying, you all have to be a poster child. Everybody wants to be a poster child. I never said we wanted to be a poster child. We became the poster child. So, but they also knew how it worked. I mean, that it was Angela and that we didn't have this huge plan. We just said we're going to do it, and we tried to work a little harder with the same things that we always do. And we have found out that it takes a little bit more than that. And without a plan, without talking to your family, that it's the same old, same old. And hopefully you'll get a few extra. But can you imagine going Gold with just whatever his organization was, he added 24. And then, how long is that? 3 years? How long has Mark been back? Would it be 3 years?
I
Four.
think so.
I've been in it going 3 years.
She didn't know Alan. We were talking about Alan, and she didn't know
I came
Alan.
September of '09.
Okay, well then it was August. I think it was around August that Mark came in. So
I
it's
heard he-
4 years
okay.
later, on 24 new people, he became Gold International Diamond. Now, you know he had more people in his organization. At the time that he got those 24, he was an International Diamond. So it took him 4 more years with 24 people. What do you want to be, and what do you want to do in 4 years? So it's still not enough. We need to do more of those 90-day plans. But you must be consistent, you must have a plan, and you must be focused on that plan. So people will get confused as to what you need to accomplish and what you want them to accomplish if you keep changing the message. So you have to have a message. You have to have a message statement.
So give us an example.
Our motto, what is our motto?
Together building people.
Making the future of health and wealth now, together building people, taking transfer factor to the world.
Partnering with For Life
For Life
Research.
Yes.
Right. That's the ATEAM Allstars motto. So now we break it down to each organization. So you belong under that umbrella. And can you repeat it again, please?
Making the future of health and wealth now, partnering with For Life Research, together building people, taking transfer factor to the world.
Right. Partnering with For Life Research. Okay, so now you have to look at your organization, and under your team moniker, you have to have a motto. I don't care if it's the same one that ATEAM Allstars had, but you have to have a motto. That's your game plan. And now we work the plan according to what the motto is. So, be consistent, and the only way you can be is by knowing your motto, knowing what you're doing. And of course, Patrick's talked before about, you do a couple simple things. Many people doing a couple simple things makes the difference. But if you are recruiting one here, one a month, one every 3 months, one once a week, you're still getting rusty. What's your consistency? What's your plan, and how do you do it? You may have to change a few words according to the person, but it's pretty much the same thing. So you need to look at that. You will not improve your skills if you're only doing one here or there. You just get rusty. So what Nathan Rick says, and he's the one with 40 million, he says you talk to 2, you talk to 5, you talk to 10 a day. Get really good, really fast, because of the repetition. That's how it'll happen. Don't putter around and wonder why things don't work. No such thing as building it once and it works forever. You're constantly building. And especially in multi-level marketing, anything you do, I want you to think about how many times have you had to rebuild? Well, how many times have you moved? How many times has your place at work changed? We build all the time. Now the walls around Jerusalem, if you want to know how many times it's been built, you may think 1 time, you may think 2 times. They've been built 16 times. 16 times. That's a long time. That's a lot. And those were strong foundations. So I want you to think about how much it does for you. So real quick, I want to know if you have your plan for your 90 days. That's really important. I'm going to talk to you about a Christian noble, and I don't expect any of you to know him. He's from Germany. He did his first 90-day plan, and it was after he had a coach. So he had a coach, and he started last January. Now, his organization, they get paid per week. And in the beginning, he made $15,000. Here's how he did it. The first week was $400. This is a 90-day plan. 90 days. First week was $400. The fourth week was $1,600. They started duplicating. Now this is per week is what he made. And I want you to think about what you thought you wanted per month, some of you. At the end of May, he started in January. Okay, so at the end of May, he had what he called his mastermind group. And there were 6 of them. 6 that he saw were going to rock and roll. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? We need 6 to be diamond. So he said they were very serious people. He recruited on the 5th week, he was making $4,000 a week. A week. That's passing some of your plans at 10,000, because that's at least 12,000 a week. By the 8th week, he was making 5,000 a week. The 10th week, he made 10,000 a week. And so by the 10th week, that's close to the 50,000 for some of you. The 12th week, excuse me, was 16,000. And by week 20, so how many months is that? 5. $24,500 a week. By doing a 90-day plan. So, what is your plan? This Christian said he just worked very, very hard. And he said he made a plan and found all the people. So, have the courage to believe in your own stuff. This is so important. Have the courage to believe in you. Be pressed to become your highest calling. Don't fold now, because this is it. And those 90-day plans, this is it. You know, you work your power, you work your courage, and your faith. You do not become a volunteer victim. This is how you become successful. We talked about the plan last week, what to do, some of the things to do, and now I'm talking about you got to keep up that courage, your faith. And so you get a partner. And your partner is your accountability partner. So if you can't afford a coach, and Patrick and I and John, we're going out to Las Vegas November 28th and 29th, and we're with a coach for 90 Days of Power. So we're constantly putting that in. If you don't, remember, you are where you're at right now based on how you think, based on what you know. And you can't get any better until you learn. So the Diamond Academy is coming up in October. I'm looking at what is better for you guys. Is it better in the evening? Is it better, you'd have to do 2 evenings, or do you want a Saturday?
Well, evening would be better for you, huh?
Yeah, but
Yeah, because I work every Saturday except for one every 6 weeks. But if I knew ahead of time, maybe I could finagle a day off.
Okay, so we're gonna go for a Saturday. And we're gonna go for a Saturday in October then. Okay. Then.
Actually, pray and beg, because I get
Patrick and I have gone over and over and over and over our notes. We've gone over our CDs that we purchased during the seminars. It's something that once is not enough. Once is just not enough. And you want to lead your group there. Then it's easier for you, as far as the training is concerned. They understand. They'll start understanding what's expected. And that's what we want to look at. So get that accountability partner that says, did you do it this week? Did you do it last week? Find an accountability partner. And that's not meaning competition. That's meaning, this is what my goals were. This is what I'm thinking about. And your partner's going to say, well, did you do it? Because now that gives you something to look forward to and to talk about. And it's not just on you. Because now, sometimes it's hard for us, being self-motivators, to take that accountability and we say, oh, it just slid. So here it is next week. But now you got to talk to somebody. So if you cannot afford a coach, then you need to be looking at an accountability partner. Very, very important. Come to your leadership meetings. Those are extremely important, and there's always some kind of education. There's always something that you're learning new, and this is a leadership meeting. This is the Breakfast of Champions is for the leadership that we have. So make it happen. And why? Because you said you're worth more. Because you said, I want to do better. I'm not happy at the level I'm at, and I need to improve. And so these are the things that you want to do. The worst people are those who don't know that they don't know, and they say that they know.
That's good.
They don't know that they don't know, and they say that they know. Oh my gosh. So where are they going? Remember, your best thinking got you where you're at today. And if you don't like where you're at today, well, then we've got to change some thinking. We've got some stinking thinking. That's what's going on here, and we need to change it. So we need to look at your accomplishments. We look at your growth. The growth of your business, or the lack of it. So face it. Let's face it right now, that we're not going to get better than what we are right now because we've not made a change. We've not made a change in our message. We've not made a change in our education or in our coaching of our business. So you're right where you're at because that's all you know. And you don't know that you don't know that you know. So, let's get more help. Let's keep growing. And that's what the ATEAM Allstars are all about. That's the purpose. We need to continue educating. We need to continue our accomplishments and have that power, have the courage, and have the faith. And that's what ATEAM Allstars does for you, because we care. You know, we are motivated, and we continue to get coached, and we continue to teach. And it's important for you to do the same thing. If you do not care, if you do not teach, if you do not continue to get your power, if you do not continue to get motivated, you're dead in the water. So, your motivation and accountability, these breakfasts are accountabilities. We're being accountable for what we're doing and what we're not doing. We're looking at each other, and sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's hard to say, no, for the last 2 months I've done nothing. But let's take a look. Maybe you didn't want to change. Maybe that's all you wanted. So that was okay. But what you've told me here today is that that's what you've been doing is not what you want anymore. So we're just going to make a change. We're going to get rid of some thinking and put into some new thoughts in our thinking cap and make it the best possible. And these next 90 days, if you don't understand how to do it, you better make sure that you and some of your organization, your leaders in your organization are here at these breakfasts, making sure they understand how to do it. And of course, then we'll be having the Diamond Academy in October. And when you come out to the new center, which I'm expecting everyone to come out. I mean, I think you're going to really be wowed what's going to happen for you with For Life there. So, you know, when you come out, and you'll make the difference. You'll make the difference in your group and in your organization. You can have meetings there. You can do a lot of things there. And that's where we're going to have the Real Vita Night. So we still haven't announced it yet because we're still too busy moving in. But I know it'll be the first couple weeks in October. Okay.
Okay, believe it or not, Janice has left some material for me to talk about this 90 days of power we're having. Okay, so what she's talking about in Vegas, they had one in the middle of August, and of course we wanted to go to that one, and as you know, we ran out of time to push another event into August. So they are having another one at the end of November, and what it's called Insanity Boot Camp, 90 Days of Power. So what it is